This is an exhibition of Palestine maps in 2,000 years. They are produced by Palestine Land Society, established in London 25 years ago. In this exhibition, you will see the product of the society in 25 years. The product of the society is composed of 3 or 4 or 5 atlases of Palestine in different languages: Arabic, English, Spanish, and Russian. Also, we have produced several maps of different sizes and different dates. In this exhibition, we show the development of maps in Palestine from today back into '67, and then 1948, and before that in 1596, and before that 313. In the other maps, we show details of how a Nakba took place. This is shown by maps and by testimony from people who witnessed the Nakba. In addition, we have created maps to show the process of how Nakba took place, and also we have listing of all the refugees who were depopulated from 530 cities and villages, who they are, their numbers, where they are today, and so on. We also show 20 examples of the reconstruction of destroyed Palestinian villages in an annual competition, now in its 10th year. There is this and more. We invite everybody to see that. These are the works of Palestine Land Society, and the total description of the work is shown in the website www.plands.org. This is aerial photo of my land, the land of my family for 200 years. It's called Al-Ma'in, or Ma'in Abu Sitta. We have recorded the history of the family in this land for 200 years. This is an aerial photo from 1945. In addition, we have a plan with the University of London, Goldsmith College, under a scheme called Forensic Architecture, where with the documents we have and the skills they have, we created how Al-Ma'in Abu Sitta was in the last century, in the 20th century, and how it was attacked and destroyed, and how it can be rebuilt again, and how the kibbutz was built on its land. So this is a pictorial picture of the history of one family in Palestine, typical of many families, that they can record their history, they can document their present life, and they can also plan for the future return. This is Gaza Strip, the only place in Palestine which has never raised a flag except that of Palestine. Gaza Strip in the news today and will be in the news for a long time. Its area is 1.3% of Palestine, but it is the home of people who are driven by Israel from 472 villages shown in red here. All these people who lived in these villages have been driven by Israel in 1948 into a small area called Gaza Strip in this area. Now you can see that in this picture we show that their land, the land of these people in Gaza Strip, who are 2.3 million people, are taken over by only 150,000 Jewish settlers in Israel. So These settlers are taking the land of 2.3 million people. They are still living in Palestine, but you can, in Gaza Strip, but you can see they are crowded at a density of 8,000 persons per square kilometers. And now they are crowded at a density of 20,000 persons per square kilometer, while the settlers in their land only are at 7 persons per square kilometers. Today, Gaza is subject to the biggest genocide in modern history, biggest genocide, and it destroyed every element of civilization, schools, hospitals, all buildings, water supplies, and all that, in addition to 300,000 people killed or injured. It is the genocide which is witnessed by the people all around the world in full view. The bombs dropped on Gaza are more than Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But the story of Palestinians in Gaza has reached the world everywhere, from Chile to New Zealand. So the world has awakened to the genocide which is being acted upon Palestinians, not only today, but for 77 years. This is the map of the southern district of Palestine, 12,500 square kilometers. Israel always claimed, falsely of course, that this land is empty. There are no people there. And therefore, as they are people with no land, they are taking the land which has no people. This is entirely false. There are plenty of people living there for thousands of years. Here we identified the clans which live there, the limits of their land, and the names of the clans. This document is the only map of its kind now with such detail to show that people in Beersheba lived in this land and they own this land. So Palestine is not empty, it has people. When these foreign invaders came from Poland and Romania and so on, they wanted to claim they have taken land with no people. This is false. It has people and they claim their right to return to it. This is a very big map of Palestine on the floor, 4 meters wide by 8 millimeter length. It shows all the villages in Palestine, as shown in the other maps, but actually it shows here something else. It shows the number of refugees from each district of Palestine and when they became refugees, and here also where they are refugees today. So here it shows where they come from, and here where they are refugees today. And this table here also shows the number of massacres which have been taking place to make them refugees. You can actually see the whole length of Palestine in this single map of Palestine. Palestine is the land of Palestinians. They have the right to return home according to international law and according to history. The right of return is sacred, it's legal, and it's also possible. But when Palestinians exercise their right of return, they will find that their villages have been destroyed by Israel. So they have to build it. We started a competition among young Palestinian architects, now in its 10th year, so that their graduation project will be the construction of one Palestinian villages. We have already covered 60 villages in which 400 young Palestinian architects have participated in the last 10 years. Their designs for the reconstruction of the destroyed villages has been judged by a British jury in London every year in September. The results of the best design has been declared. Here we show examples of these villages as designed by the young Palestinian architects. There are 20 villages here shown in various districts of Palestine, showing the design made by Palestinian architects how to reconstruct their villages upon return. They have a motto. It says, we Palestinians built their villages. They destroy, Israel destroyed. And now we Palestinians say, we rebuild. So the motto of the competition is, we built, they destroy, we rebuild. This is the map of Palestine in the year 1596. 1596. What is the significance of this year? This is a few years after the Ottomans took over Palestine and became the rulers of Palestine and the Arab countries for 400 years. That took place in 1517. In 1596, we took the tax register of the Ottomans, from which we found the names of Palestinian villages, also in Bilad al-Sham, and in each village there is a record of the number of people in that village, what they do, what's their work, what they produce, and how much tax they have to pay. So we got this register of the Ottoman tax register in 1596, and we made this map from it. We then went further before the year 313, when Palestine was under the Byzantine Empire. This map was created by a Palestinian bishop. This Palestinian bishop lived in Caesarea. His name is Eusebius. Eusebius, in the year 313, produced a book, a geographical book for Christian pilgrims who are going to Jerusalem, telling them how to reach Jerusalem. And so we have listed the names as they were known in the Roman times, and next to that, the names, the modern names, which are very similar. So here we have 2,000 years recorded of Palestine. Palestine is a land deep in history. It has people and it has history. It is not an empty land. This is the map of Palestine. Palestine, which we know it, and the world know it for 7,000 years. This is the historical map of Palestine, and it is the existing map of Palestine till today, even after the Zionist occupation of Palestine. This is the map which Ptolemy visited in the 4th century before Jesus Christ. And now, for 30 years, it was under the British mandate. It has 1,200 cities and villages, and it is extending from Naqoura in the north down to Rashash in the south. It is part of what we call Bilad al-Sham, or the Levant. It is not separate from Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. Only after the British mandate came and cut this part and took took control of it. And the north part of Palestine, Lebanon, was taken over by the French, Lebanon and Syria. And these colonial powers divided our country in the east, in the Levant, into separate countries in order to control them. But the situation did not end there. Here, in 1948, Israel came from Europe by the support of British, and they conquered this part of Palestine, you see, this part of Palestine, and they conquered and attacked 530,000 villages by a force of 120,000 soldiers in 9 brigades who carried out 31 military operations supported by Britain and by Western colonial powers. So Palestine was cut into 2 pieces. This piece became under Israel, which is 78%, and the rest became known as the West Bank and Gaza. Here is detail of the West Bank and detail of Gaza. West Bank here, which is next to the River Jordan, and Gaza Strip, which is by the Mediterranean. You can see that Palestine was cut off in 2 pieces, one in the east of Palestine and the other one in the west of Palestine by the Mediterranean. This Gaza Strip remained independent under control of nobody except its people. This one became under Jordan for a part-time, and then now it is controlled by Israel. You can see the control points on the roads in the West Bank, which are created by Israel to control the movement of people. It is under apartheid system in the West Bank. A good example of that is here. Here, see this red line is the armistice line in 1949, which divides the Palestine 48, which is taken by Israel, and the West Bank. This map shows the situation very clearly. It shows the original villages of Palestine before they were depopulated in red, and it shows in blue the Zionist Israeli colony built on their land. And here they are trying to do the same in the West Bank now. It's in progress. So here you have the story of Palestine from 1917 to today, 2025. This is a very special map. It shows Palestine at the end of the 19th century and just before the First World War. Why do we show it here? This map has a great significance for us Palestinians and for the whole world. This is purely Palestinian map in which there is no single Jewish colony on this map. At that time, there was not a single Jewish colony. All the cities and villages here are purely Palestinian. They were Muslims and Christians. They lived in Palestine for thousands of years. At that time, no single Jewish colony was able to plant itself in Palestine. So this is purely Arab Palestine. This is a map of the Palestinian land stolen by the Jewish National Fund. Jewish National Fund was established at the beginning of the 20th century for the purpose of acquiring Palestinian land for the Jewish immigrants to Palestine who at that time did not exist. But after Israel took over Palestine and made its people refugees, there was a lot of Palestinian land for the taking. So the Israeli government, which was formed at the time, gave the Jewish National Fund $2.5 million dunams under a fictitious sale agreement. Why did they do that? Because the Jewish National Fund has 55 offices around the world, registered in many countries, and it was thought that Palestinian people will have difficulty chasing those people around the world who took their land. What did Jewish National Fund do with Palestinian land? They planted on them parks, but not before they destroyed the Palestinian villages, uprooted the trees, and actually leveled everything to indicate Palestinian existence for thousands of years. And on the rubble of Palestinian villages, they built parks, they planted parks of trees imported from Europe, not indigenous to Palestine. We have, in this map, located 80 parks, usually named by the name of Western leaders who supported Zionism in the takeover of Palestine. In the blue areas here, as you can see, this indicates one of the parks which has been taken over by JNF. In this map, we also show the people who own this land, Palestinians, which village, what area is taken from each village, what is the name of the owners of this land taken over, where they are today, they are refugees in which camp, and so on. So actually, we define and document the owners, the real owners of the village, of the park taken over land, and then we document it in great details. Here we show some of the 80 parks we have done. So in court of law, under international law, we can actually take the Jewish National Fund to court, and we bring the people who own the land taken from them to court. We know their names, we know who they are, and so on. This case has been once taken to Scotland, and the court, after studying the documents, found that our case is correct, legally complete, but they said they have no jurisdiction to pass judgment in this. There will be a time when judgment will be passed. Here you have seen only some examples of the work done by Palestinian Land Society to document Palestine, land and people. What you have seen is small examples. There are many, many things more. For example, atlases and different dates and different languages. There are probably hundreds of maps also. There are books written. What we have shown you here is just an example which we have shown in the exhibition this week. You can always go back to our website, Palestine Land Society, and read and study more. You can also write to us by email. We can answer your questions. In addition to what you have seen on the walls of this exhibition, there are a number of about 11 or 12 TV screens showing slides about the Nakba, about refugees, about the future of Palestine. It's worth visiting this exhibition where you can see live running stories about Palestine and also stories about people who survived al-Nakba. You are always welcome. Remember, Palestine will ever be there. Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. Thank you.